And moving right along from NFL here, should we go across town to the University of Minnesota and talk a little Golden Gopher football?
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite NFL training camps, not as public
Publicized.
exactly, but they just had an open practice at TCF Bank, and you've seen a few clips. I mean, Coy's rocking the multicolored jersey.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, he might be the best athlete in the state of Minnesota right now.
I would 100%
Yeah,
agree. We could have told you that when he was a sophomore in high school, he's
but
different.
yeah, for sure. It's good for PJ to allow him to do all those things and it sounds like he wants to do it and like wants to be there, wants to be Travis Hunter basically. It's not like he'll be some gimmick guy on the offense. Hopefully he can factor in a lot of different ways.
There was a clip that came up from that open practice at TCF Bank the other night of redshirt freshman Drake Lindsay launching about a 70-yard bomb to Coy for a big gain. From what I'm hearing from a lot of the guys at the Big Ten Network and everything is Lindsay throws a very good deep ball, which that's something the Gophers haven't had in a long time. Someone that can throw the deep ball. I mean, yeah, he throws a very good deep ball, which is exciting to see. But I mean, he's still a redshirt freshman quarterback, stepping into the Big Ten conference and everything. Some of the kind of unknown guys that have been making a little bit of noise for the Gophers has been a redshirt freshman Jalen Smith at wide receiver. It was actually a three-star recruit coming out of high school from Mankato West. Mankato West always kind of had a reputation of we're just going to run through your face type of offense. So, maybe he wasn't as highly recruited just because he was in a run first offense in high school and everything. Sounds like he's going to be making a very good statement right now to earn some big time game reps, which is very exciting to hear. I heard Tony Lieber say he reminds him of Daniel Jackson in a way, which is very cool to hear. Jackson was very explosive, had a good career for the Gophers.
Just had absolutely good hands. Some of the best catches you'll see. I still remember the clip of him routing up that dude from Nebraska. One of the filthiest routes I've ever seen.
Uh-huh. And then the toe drag on that catch too, though.
He had another insane catch against Michigan, so hopefully I would definitely not say no to another Daniel
Yeah,
Jackson.
then obviously the Gophers brought in a couple of transfers, Logan Loya and Tyson Chapman out of Nebraska. We'll see the Gophers doing that out wide anyways. So, and run game, it'll be led by Darius Taylor. Big question on the offense is the O-line, obviously. Not much experience there. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we've seen Fleck be successful with those experienced offensive linemen, 2019 being a key example. He had an experienced offensive line, and the results spoke for themselves. I'm excited to see Drake Lindsay throw the deep ball more. You mentioned it a lot. Can't recall a Gopher who had a good deep ball, like a great deep ball. And if you're going to run the ball as much as the Gophers love to do, and PJ Fleck loves to run the football, having the deep ball is going to be an elite weapon to have. They're going to sell it so much for that run that leaves a great opportunity for the deep balls.
Yeah, defensively, I heard a lot about Matt Kingsbury the other night. He was kind of low on the depth chart right now as a linebacker. From Ryan Burns and Tony Lieber, he was flying around making a lot of plays the other night. Someone that could be stepping into a role like a Cody Lindenberg. I feel like, develops and just turns into a really good player. I actually hung out with Matt a few times, so I'm trying to hide my bias away from him. Super, super cool guy, but cool to see how he's developing in there. Lower rated kid coming out of high school. Defensive line going to be anchored by Anthony Smith, obviously. Jackson Howard will be there. He's a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Sounds like true freshman Emmanuel Carmel coming out of Robbinsdale Cooper is vying for a starting spot as well at linebacker, which would be very cool to see a true freshman come in and do that. Doesn't seem like the Gophers have true freshmen that step up very often, but when they do, they usually turn into a pretty special player.
Yeah, for sure. And you saw last year just the importance of having those true freshmen. Hopefully, you can see them step up. Like, if you're going to have true freshmen step up, you're going to be in it for a great time.
Mhm.
And I think it's interesting too, is like mentioned all the guys who did very well for the fall camp so far. Mankato, Esco, Robbinsdale Cooper, Jackson Howard, also from the cities. Like you get all these Minnesota kids stepping up big for the Gophers, and I think that's going to be an even bigger draw, not only in recruiting, but to the fan base to come and watch those games.
Yeah, I would agree. It sounds like the other night at TCF or Huntington Bank Stadium, excuse me. So I used to call it TCF. I'll call it the bank. But it sounds like there was a good crowd turnout there the other night. I'm
Oh,
excited. Gopher football's back. I'm gonna have to wait a little longer to see them, a little longer than the Vikings. But from what we had lost, this past year, sounds like we're making great strides. And Fleck really went out in the portal hard this year, which I like. And didn't lose a whole lot either. So lots of developing going on there.
yeah, I think the Gophers have the opportunity to surprise a few teams across the nation this year, and hopefully they can have a really good year.